pulls up like we do. No one does us like we do. Always go hard with this crew. Welcome to the show, let's make moves. Nothing's gonna stop us, it's about to get rough. Turn the whole room up, it's never enough. Let's go, 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 let's go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Sports Report Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. William D. Morgan. Guys, I got 1,000 people with me tonight. This is going to be a very special episode. It's going to feel like one of those old school episodes of the Sports Report. So let me bring on somebody who is the president of this fine network. Let me bring Josie in with all the Astros apparel on. Josie, how you doing?
Not just rocking my Astros, rocking that pinfall apparel,
There you
bro.
go, baby. There you go. There you go.
Dude, I'm here. I'm excited to talk some sports. One little thing. Abortion is healthcare. Moving on. Let's go into it.
All right, let me go ahead and bring in a man who forgot more baseball than most will ever know. Let's bring in my man, 7-7. What's up?
You know, it's ironic that you made Josie go up first. Was it so that Josie could steal the signs that I was going to throw out?
I love it. Ah, damn. That was a good one.
First immaculate, 2 immaculate innings in baseball. No hitter. You can talk about stealing signs all you want. We're still one of the best teams.
Was Josie the one that went up first because it's a perfect representation of the Astros blowing a lead?
Yeah, they did do that.
After no hitting the Yankees for 16.1 innings,
And then going down 6-3 to the
you guys are making Aaron Judge look better. Come on, bullshit.
Next up, let me bring on the man who is the team captain for Walmart and Trailer Parks. I'm just the owner. Let me bring my man Danny in. Dan, what's up?
I just want to know where this ownership thing came in at. How do you own the company? And
the whole thing was me. It's already LLC.
It's never good to be the first guy to have an idea, Will.
Look here, Walmart.
You always want to be the guy to steal that idea.
Look here, Walmart and Trailer Parks LLC. I'm telling you, baby, it's already.
Why do I feel like there's like eyes behind behind Dan just staring?
Because there is.
Like it, don't it? It's all the Yankees, it's all the Boston Red Sox fans trying to get him. That's what it is.
Fans just drilling.
It's all the Red Sox fans looking to get him. That's what it is.
Yeah, that series was amazing. Actually, the Yankees playing the worst baseball of the entire year still split with the Astros and walk off twice.
But
silence.
Top of the inning, first pitch home run by Tuve when they're screaming "fuck Altuve" was just.
Oh yeah, no, he killed us.
To my soul,
he killed us the entire series. I'm a huge Altuve fan. Like I don't.
I know you are. I know you are. That's the one thing we kind of agree on.
Yeah, like I think he's great, and yeah, he loves that pressure too. Loves it when the more they boo
every time.
Yeah, I hate it. I wish they would just cheer him. Honestly, I wish they would just cheer him and be like, "Hey, we're Altuve fans," and then he might strike out once in a while. But he's just gonna go 3 for 4 all day if you boo him all day.
I was thinking about it when he hit that the other day. How many times does he do that? Because he seems like he hits those first pitch home runs a lot.
He swings at a first pitch like 68% of the time I saw him.
No,
so it's a lot.
Yeah.
28th career leadoff home run, which is craziness. That's almost an entire season worth of homers.
You guys are taking like half my segment already. Come on, let's bring not that Gene SImmons in here.
You asked me to come in.
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and bring in the newest member of Pinfall Streams. Gentlemen, I know him for a very long time. My man Gene. Gene, what's up?
Yep, just Gene SImmons rocking with the Kiss Band.
You see, this is how you get the Amish women, Gene. You gotta show them that tongue action.
Yes.
And what that tongue do, like what that mouth do. You got to show them what that mouth do, and then they'll churn your butter for you. Like that's what you got to do.
Isn't all that stuff against their religion? That cunnilingus stuff.
That's a good tip, but I won't show you guys.
I appreciate that. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I want to be able to.
Oh, hey, this is how it should be properly set up, by the way. This because you got the straight guys on the bottom.
This is actually good. I mean, we need Will. We need Will down here, though.
We need me down there.
I don't know. Yeah. Do we really know that, Gene? Do we really know?
Look, I need you guys to stop judging me. $20 is $20. All right. Just because I'm the only subscriber to Josie's OnlyFans doesn't mean anything.
Oh,
the only subscriber.
I'm just trying to
that. He's like 8,000.
Classic.
You're a proud supporter.
What do you think he does for a living?
That's right.
Classic. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into our first segment of the night, which is the 7th inning stretch. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys.
The 7th inning stretch is sponsored by Gunslinger Soaps, handmade soap and beard products made without all the junk to pamper your skin. Go to their website, gunslingersoap.com, and sign up to get 15% off your first order and always free shipping over $30. That's gunslingersoap.com. Man, so I guess let's dive back in and start talking that Astros Yankees series, because I gotta say, I'm a firm believer, as much as it pains me to say this as a Sox fan. I really think Yankees Astros is going to be the ALCS. What do you guys say?
I mean, in this era of baseball, it's been the ALCS more times than not. And as I said before the show, even this series where it was one-sided at one point and then flipped to the other side, it's always a great series between the Yankees and Astros, even though the fans love to shit on each other. Yeah. Those teams just play well against each other. As we were talking, Tuve always comes alive in that stadium. And you're right, Dan. It is because they scream, fuck out Tuve. It motivates the fuck out of that man.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he's been getting booed for the last 3 years at every stadium he's at, so he's pretty used to it at this point. And
it's also the fact, like, at this point, he's the only one left to blame in the cheating scandal, really, on the team.
Pretty much. And I don't think that he's even worth blaming at this point. Obviously, Yankees fans are upset about the ALCS and all that stuff, but it's not like if they wouldn't have had the upper hand and been able to steal signs, that they wouldn't have done it too. I mean, every team in Major League Baseball would have done it if they could have.
Now that they did steal that year.
They were, yeah. I was just saying,
everybody did. Everybody does.
Yeah, it was
everybody did. Everybody does.
Teams in the league with stealing signs that year. So
I'd say 100% of them.
I mean, they have proof of over half the teams. That's the report that was released. So, well, and for me, it's good baseball. And as for me as a Sox fan, I wanted this to be more difficult, because I'm hoping that this takes some out of the Yankees, because the Red Sox are getting ready to go into a gauntlet. It started today, 17 straight divisional games between a couple of series against the Jays, a couple of series against the Yankees. I know they've got a series or two against the Rays as well, and on top of that. So it's all division games. And so if the Yankees can start to struggle, then maybe they can kind of close that gap a little bit. But it is quite clear at this point that the Yankees are the best team in baseball. Judge is going.
It's nice to hear, Tony.
Say
that again.
That again.
I can only imagine how much that pains him, because just hearing it makes my ears bleed.
Right.
Like, I every time, because it's Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, we do the winter meetings. And I have to acknowledge that the Yankees are the best team in baseball. It does cause me physical pain. Like, we get done with that show,
if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah. Stefan's usually on there with us, and he is a Yankees pitcher, but he's a Red Sox fan, so it's an interesting dynamic there. Great guy though, great guy.
I did want to mention, just after those, Josie, after those 16 and a third that they went hitless, which was the most since 1961, I believe, for any team.
They blasted 6 runs in the final.
They were talking on the broadcast about Rizzo coming up with no hits still, and they were going to bunt because they were playing him to pull, and he could have bunted to the left side for a base hit just to get a base hit. And I was like, absolutely not. Do not do that. That makes them look desperate. And it's just like a desperate move. Like, oh, we got to get a hit. Like we got to bunt. And I was like, so glad they didn't do it. And in a Yankee spitting fashion, Giancarlo comes up the next inning and just hits a bomb to center field. And it's a homer for their first hit in 16 1/3. That's a huge deal. I think that's a huge deal psychologically for them, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Like that they didn't have to bunt to get somebody on. Like it just shows non-desperation. Like it was a huge thing.
And credit to Stanton, because that was a beautiful, it was like 410-foot home run, deep, to pretty much straight center field. And Stanton's been kind of hit and miss recently, so that was great for him and his confidence, especially as they start to, continue to make this push towards the All-Star break. I want to see the Yankees lose a lot more games though, because they're still like 12 and a half ahead of the Red Sox right now, and that really pisses me off.
Me and Seven did talk about it. Like that might have locked up the AL MVP for Aaron Judge. That series alone, he has 2 walk-offs in the series. That might have
3 for the season.
That might have just locked it up. He's leading the AL in homers, runs, OPS, and like barring major injury, I think that pretty much locks it up. I think he could have an average second half.
I will say this. I will say Jordan is making a strong case to be right there behind him.
Dude, Jordan better beat him by 10 home runs, 30 RBIs, and 10 batting average points because he doesn't play the field. Aaron Judge is playing a Gold Glove center field right now, and Jordan doesn't play the field. So I'm not taking away from Jordan Alvarez. I love Jordan Alvarez. He's one of my favorite lefties in baseball, but he just doesn't play the field, so he's going to have a disadvantage immediately to Aaron Judge, who's playing center at 6'7". That's unreal. He gets
so
great jumps.
Big.
Yeah, he gets great jumps. He's a great athlete. The dude deserves, I mean, at this point, in his contract year too, like he's having like literally the greatest contract year of all time. That guy's going to get $350 million from somebody. It's probably going to be the Yankees.
Aaron Judge is an inspiration to every single one of these guys that takes a gamble on themselves and turn down a big contract because they think they can get bigger. Because he turned down $230 million from the Yankees. And right now, every projection has him getting between $300 and $325 million in this next deal.
He's going to get that Correa money that Correa won.
Yep.
Yep.
In New York. I don't think there's any way to let go of him. Go ahead.
With the season he's having in his contract, is Aaron Judge a Yankee next year?
Yes.
Yeah,
they're going to lock.
They ain't letting him go.
There's no way they let him go. I don't think that they'll. And it's mostly just because of people like me who will literally push back against that so fucking hard all the time.
KW, what's up, brother?
Yeah, there's no way that they don't give him that money, I think, at this point. Like they have to. They have to.
Absolutely.
Hey, Seven. I need to talk to you about the Braves. We talked about them earlier in the season. How they start off slow, but as the season progressed, they typically get better and better and better. Yep. Right now they're 5-5 in their last 10, catching up to the Mets. History's repeating itself.
The Braves are getting over their Freddie Freeman hangover.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the easiest way to explain it. They are doing better, but yes, they are gaining some ground on the Mets, but the Mets are going to be getting back by the break. The Mets will get back Scherzer and DeGrom.
Hopefully, yeah.
And at least that's the way that it's looking right now for both of their rehabs. And that's a big deal because they are commanding that division right now without Scherzer and DeGrom. So when you get the arguably two of the best pitchers in baseball that are in that one rotation back from injury, that is a shutdown rotation by the Mets.
What's going on with the
Dodgers? They're doing right now.
What's going on with the Dodgers, fellas?
Their Dodgers are going through what they go through every time about this time of year.
Yeah.
Every time. And I say this as a man that despises the Dodgers probably more in person, despises the Dodgers probably more than I do the Yankees, for the sheer fact the Dodgers have been as relevant as the Astros for the last few years, but they can never get it done. They can never get it done. And they do this every year. They go through this
2 years ago.
But how many times had they had the shot?
A lot.
And
they're like the LeBrons of the Major League Baseball.
That's a good analogy. I agree with that. That's a good analogy.
Here's my thing with the Dodgers. And KW, we'll get to the Cubs in a second.
Oh,
because that is an entire shit show.
Yes, because I want to talk about White Sox too.
The Brooklyn Charlie Bronze. Go ahead.
But with the Dodgers, the thing of it is this time of year, they always kind of get into a slump. But this lineup, healthy, if they can have everybody back healthy by the end of the All-Star break, which is very realistic at this point based on all of the information, the Dodgers will not lose more than 15 games after the All-Star break.
We'll see. Real quick on your Dodgers.
That lineup, everybody healthy, is Murderers Row 2.0. And there's no denying that.
So, I think their pitching's actually better. That's the scary part. And I think their pitching's actually better than their lineup is, which is scary. And like Will, on your Braves and your Dodgers thing, the Freeman thing, I think they actually replaced Freddie Freeman with a better player at this point. And that's a weird thing. Matt Olson
is putting up better numbers.
Matt Olson is a better player offensively right now.
That's weird to say, but
okay. Can I say I feel this? I almost feel the same way with the Correa thing, because Pena's having a better season right now than Correa is.
You got to replace him with obviously a guy who they wanted to play, they were gonna play. Like it's actually for the Astros organization. That's a better move.
The Astros
just get Pena in there.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a couple of Pena at bats, obviously.
Done shit this season.
That guy's legit. He's all right. I mean, but he wasn't gonna. He's never been that guy who's exploded out of the gate and just. You know, he never has 25 homers at the break or anything like that. He kind of just like slowly just like kind of, tears along and
he in the top 10,
right,
5 to 10. Yeah.
Right. And he could do that. He could do that in Houston because they were loaded. Right. Mm-hmm. So like when he goes to somewhere where he's the man now and he hits cleanup every day, basically, like it's weird because you don't know if he can, just like, Is he gonna have games where he goes 4 for 5 and stuff like that? Like I don't know.
The thing with him,
we'll see a lot more out of him after the break too.
Yep.
Well, and that was the thing with him and the money he was asking is I never saw. I love Carlos, I do, but I never saw him as the man. To me, that
I don't think he was.
The man was always Tuve.
It was
or Springer, but it was never Carlos. And now he's on a team where he is the man, and it's just not happening.
What are we talking about?
Here's the thing. That the Twins in the division that they're in, that entire division is a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah, it is.
And that's the thing. And I think that's one of the reasons, and we're going to talk about Chicago a little bit. That's one of the things that makes the issue in Chicago with the White Sox such a dramatic issue, because the Chicago White Sox should at least be in a more competitive position to take over that division than they are right now.
They should dominate that division. They should dominate that division.
They should. They really should. Because don't get me wrong, the Twins have a decent roster. Gary Sanchez is doing a lot better now in Minnesota than he was in New York. I think he needed a change of scenery. He's still not early New York Sanchez. So we'll clarify that. But he is putting up better numbers this year than he was last season in New York. Correa isn't putting up Houston numbers, but he's doing well, especially at home, because that park is very favorable to him. But the Twins roster still is not great. Is not great. The White Sox on paper have a better roster than the Twins.
100%. The Twins pitching is kind of that's bottom third, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. That's fair.
They're not. Their pitching's not. It's just they got a lot of young guys. It's not great. I mean, they just got guys who got talent who get beat up all the time. Is what I've seen from the Twins pitching. That's just what I mean. That's not good either.
They either, and the thing of it is I don't think you can make enough aggressive moves on the pitching side before the deadline to offset the problems that they're having. Mm-hmm. So if they are going to try and make some type of a push to own that division with the trade deadline, they need to grab offense. And that could put them in the market for Trey Mancini, because I know Baltimore is going to, it hasn't been officially confirmed by the team, but it's all but going to happen. Boston is going to be in the mix for the Mancini trade, but I think it's going to cost Boston more than it would Minnesota to get him. And Mancini's a great bat.
How's he doing this year? Honestly, because he's complete. I mean, the Orioles have completely disappeared from any kind of I mean, they're usually out of the spotlight, but they've just completely disappeared into the cellar now. I mean, they're like 30 games back at this point before the All-Star break. That's not great.
Yeah,
that's called the cellar.
The season is over before the All-Star.
Yeah, they need to fire sale like they always do.
That's why you're going to get
the pigeons.
That's why you're going to see them move. I would not be surprised to see the Orioles move both Austin Hayes, who's hitting 284, and Mancini. Right now, Mancini's on base percentage is 361, and he's doing is DHing. His batting average is 283. So his slash is 283, 361, 422. OPS is 784. His WAR is like 1.5. So he's doing well. Like, I mean, especially for being in Baltimore, he's doing well. But it's I think if a contending team is going to trade for him and either leave him as a DH, or a team like Boston, if Boston grabs him, he's going back to first base because Bobby Dahlbeck is not what Boston needs right now. And so that's why there's going to be some teams that will grab for him. I think that the White Sox could even benefit from grabbing Trey Mancini.
Okay. I said it. The one thing the White Sox could benefit from is what they were screaming in the stadium this week, and that's to fire Tony La Russa.
I did an interview a couple of weeks ago with Michael Carrion. His dad was Camilo Carrion, played for the White Sox, the Orioles, and the Indians in the 60s. And he's very plugged into that organization, very active with the fan base and representing his dad, what his dad did. Because his dad was one of the first Mexican-American players in baseball.
Hang on,
hold on. We gotta do one thing. We gotta do one thing real quick. Ladies and gentlemen,
Pinfall is here, ladies and
gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. May I bring in the Moose and heavyweight champion of the world, my main man, Mr. Pinfall. What's up, bro?
Getting all hot over there.
Mr. Pinfall, what's up, brother? What's going on,
He's
man?
muted.
He's muted. What's up,
and
man?
then he mutes you.
What's up, brother?
What up?
How you doing?
It just got hot in here.
Man!
Mr. Pinfall in the
It's gonna be like an Elvis concert. It's gonna be like an Elvis concert on the floor.
Mr. Pinfall in the building. Hey, go ahead and finish your thoughts, Seven. Then we're gonna move on to some basketball. There's a rumor that came out. There's a rumor that came out, and that I want to talk about.
That hot streak, I want to talk about that, but really quick. Yeah. Okay, so there was also, for those of you that didn't see yesterday, there was a huge brawl between the Angels and the Mariners that caused about a 20-minute delay in that game. There were 12, and this was a full Donnybrook. Punches were thrown and everything. This was a true fight.
It was a fight. It was like a hockey match in that field.
It still wasn't as cool as hockey, so Mr. Pinfall, don't at me. But there was 12 suspensions handed out. Angels manager Phil Nevin has received a 10-game suspension. Mariners outfielder Jesse Winkler got 7 games.
Damn.
Angels third baseman Anthony Rendon has gotten a 5-game suspension.
Slobberknocker.
It has to be served after he comes back from his time on the injured list. Plus, for the next 7 games, he can't even sit in the dugout because he was just sitting in the dugout. He's on the injured list, and he ran out for a fight. So that was an interesting piece of that.
That don't look good.
Don't look good at all.
Angels assistant pitching coach Dom Cheedy got a 5-game suspension. Mariners shortstop J.P. Crawford got 5 games. Angels pitcher Andrew Wentz got 3 games because he was the one that actually intentionally hit Jesse Winker, and that's what started the fight. Ryan Tepera got 3 games. Raisel Iglesias got a 2-game suspension. Mariners outfielder Julio Rodriguez got 2 games for his part. Angels bench coach Ray Montgomery got 2 games. And the Angels major league interpreter Manny Del Campo got 2 games for his actions.
The interpreter got 2 games.
And Angels catching coach Bill Haslett got a 1-game suspension for his actions.
That one kind of got lost in translation, Will.
Oh my God!
not even lost in translation. What was he out there trying to, dictate how is it supposed to be from the Spanish people to the English? He's just saying you're an asshole.
Right. No, he was like, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I was just translating.
Just translating. All right, guys. Appreciate that. Appreciate the baseball rundown. Let's go into the hardwood because I got to get into this trade. That the Hawks and Spurs I was talking about. Let's roll into it, guys. Dan, you heard about the Hawk? Have you heard about the Hawks trade? Hawks trade?
DeJounte Murray.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't give up John Collins.
Why not?
Oh wow, that's the part right there that we don't know, because right now it's being rumored that San Antonio would just get picks for the rebuild, and what's his face, Karolinko, I think, and that's all they're getting. They're getting him and picks for the rebuild, and the Spurs fans are upset because John Collins isn't being put in the trade.
I think it makes sense.
That's a little bit of a low blow for trades. Like,
it makes
I just
sense.
happen to trust Pop a lot, so I don't. Yeah. And Pop has absolute. I mean, he has absolute power in that organization. I think at this point,
he does.
He definitely okayed that.
Never been much of a Spurs fan because of my diehard allegiance to the Rockets. How's
that been going for you?
Not well. The only one that pays off right now is this one right here.
Gallinari.
Danilo. Yeah.
He's the one.
Is literally a dumpster fire that's probably about to explode.
That's actually my Christian name, Will, is Danilo, not Daniel. I just got to change it for.
But he's the guy that's brought up in this trade with a bunch of picks. And it's like.
Pop. You have
I don't know, man.
Pop,
I think
one of the, and I say one of the, and it's honestly kind of a lie, the greatest coach in the last 20 years.
I mean, he might be the GOAT of all time. Honestly, I mean, it's hard to push Phil Jackson out of that, but
he might. Yeah, it's hard to leave Phil out of it.
Phil Jackson is the only thing that stops
Phil.
Well, you got Eric Spoelstra there too. He's been good.
Yeah.
GOAT status.
I don't know.
Spoelstra's GOAT status?
He ain't GOAT status yet.
Yeah, I can't put
Spoelstra. He's not. He's there. He's just not GOAT status, but he's there.
Right.
He's up there for sure.
Top 10.
He's there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But he's not.
Yeah.
But he need
to win a little bit more before he.
Isn't he like 38 years old too?
That he's young.
He needs to win.
He looks like he's.
Well, he
looks like he's young.
To meet Pop
that ring.
To meet Pop standards. To meet Phil Jackson standards.
He needs that ring a little bit more.
Gene, he means they mean win championships, not just win, because Spoelstra wins.
All he needs is a little bit more time in the league.
Yeah, that's all he needs.
I mean,
that's right. All he needs.
You're right, Gene, in the fact he's young. He's got time to be that Pop level, and he is a great coach. I definitely think he can be on that level of Phil Jackson and Pop. But right now, like, there is argument to put Pop.
Yeah, he needs some more rings. That's all he needs is some more rings.
Well, I have to beg to differ. I really don't count Phil Jackson as a great coach.
I see why. I see why. But I see why though, because he had all that talent.
He had talent. He had all.
Phil has 11 rings.
Top of the top 75, top 25 players in the league. He's had.
Okay.
Phil has 11.
Do you know how hard it is to manage all of those assholes?
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Give him credit. I'm sorry.
You can manage.
Give him credit on that.
Well, he managed egos. You know, Jackson had the Zen factor. We know that. But at the end of the day, when you have good players out there, you don't have to coach as much.
I agree with you, Gene. X's and O's wise, you're completely. I don't think that Phil's even in the conversation. But
you can make
to manage a team like that.
You can make an argument.
Here's one important stat for Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich has never played in the NBA.
That's true. But you can also make an argument.
That's what makes him good to me.
But you can also make an argument too. Phil Jackson won't be where he was, not just because of that talent, but he also had Tex Winter.
Listen, he had Kobe Bryant.
He had Tex Winter as his assistant. On the coach on the court, he had Jordan, Pippen, Kobe, Shaq,
Rodman. Cool coach.
Who's in the international Hall of Fame, by the way. People forget that.
Yeah.
Those are fairy tale players, guys.
Yeah, those are fairy tale players. You can.
Yeah, that's 2K.
Listen, how do you win 3 championships and let Michael Jordan retire, make it to the Eastern Conference Finals with just Pippen, and then come back when Jordan comes back and win it 3 more times? That's talent. That's talent.
Because Jordan wasn't as good as.
If it wasn't for that ref, making that bad call, that could have been the Bulls there.
He's the Cleveland killer.
You and I both know that if your team loses a game because of one bad call, your team already lost the game. Come on,
right?
You can't put a
Absolutely.
Just saying no.
Yeah.
Come
Just
on.
saying no. Take that bad call against Pippen. Take that bad call against Pippen on Hubert Davis. Take that away. I'm just saying.
I actually have a hypothetical.
Well, one call is not going to change the scope of a game.
Hold on. Let Mr. Pinfall get his.
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I'm just saying we've seen that in numerous sports when one call makes a bad game because it takes the entire game. Because look what just happened to Toronto. I could go look back at the playoffs and say, hey, versus Tampa Bay, if they just had to let the goal in, we still take the penalty, which can be done. Where would we be? It'd be a 2-2 game, and would we have seen Tampa Bay, move on to where they are? That's later on tonight we'll be talking about. But
Well, too, and let's take the Raiders and the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that one call.
One call.
Yep.
One call can make a difference.
Raiders would have won that.
Yep.
Okay,
guys,
how many missed opportunities did the Raiders have before that one call?
I understand what you're saying, but we're saying if the one call was different.
7. It's called football. You got to get 4 downs. You got to kick. If you get in range, you got to kick a field goal. Things just don't happen like that. So in that instance, when that whistle blew, when that ball in the air, the game starts and stops at the whistle. That's the bottom line. So that game definitely, that call changed the outcome of that game.
And if you go look
and people
back,
got fired. People got fired because of that.
Yep, they did. They did.
I will agree with Will because I have watched, The Last Dance and whatnot. Yes, if that one call on Pippen had it changed, would it mattered? Yeah, because in basketball, it does. Again, like you said with football, it does start off and off the ball and the whistle. So once that whistle's been called, once the game starts, as soon as the whistle's called again, that game stops.
So, guys, if that call changes against Pippen. If that call changes against Pippen and they win a title without Jordan, how do we view Michael Jordan? Do we view Michael Jordan differently if the Bulls win without him in the middle year of that 7-year run?
No. You know why?
You don't?
Why?
I do.
Yeah, this is why you don't, because it wasn't a blowout game. It was a close game. So if it was a blowout game and Pippen was the leader, then we say, hey, this guy's the guy. But by it being a close game and that call decided that game,
no, I'm saying if they win a title, if that call changes and the Bulls win a title on Jordan's off year in the middle of that 6-year run where they won the 6-0 with Jordan, we view Michael Jordan differently. There's no doubt about it. If they win a title without him,
that's hypothetics because again,
I know this is all hypothetical.
That's very hypothetical because if the call isn't made, then we're talking about them advancing at least to the finals. Okay, and once they get to the finals, then we don't know what happens there. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Are they good enough?
I'm saying hypothetically, say they win that title in 94-95.
It doesn't.
We view Michael Jordan way differently.
No,
really?
He's still the GOAT. He's still the GOAT.
No,
oh my good God, guys! He really is indefensible, isn't he? There's no way to ever knock Jordan off of the pedestal.
There's
no way to hypothetically do it. I can't even
have his Wizards years. You have his Wizards years. You have his Wizards years.
We look at him differently.
Because
what team? What
2 years? If you look at those 2 years where the Rockets won it, that is, and I love the man. I think he's one of the greatest defensive players to play of all time. But that's what gives Hakeem GOAT status. If it hadn't been for those 2 years, Jordan would have been looked at differently because Bulls would have been a powerhouse without him.
That's the thing.
He wouldn't have had the power.
It would have made us question how important Michael Jordan was to that team.
I don't think so. If anything, I don't think so. If anything, it strengthens.
I can see Dan's point.
It would strengthen the rest of the roster versus
do you understand
criticizing Michael Jordan?
Will, do you understand 2 3-peats? 2 3-peats.
It would have made us.
Done that.
I'm just asking if it makes us question Michael Jordan's importance to that team if he wins a title with. If they win a title without him, it absolutely does.
It doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Factor. It doesn't factor.
It doesn't factor in.
He's done so much before that. Before that, he was playing golf while they were in the Eastern Conference Finals or baseball. I'm sorry, he was playing baseball. He's like,
that's what I'm saying. If they win it without him, it makes him look less important to the team.
The only thing that proved was how good and how important Scottie Pippen was to that team.
Which takes away from Michael Jordan's fucking status.
It strengthens Pippen's top 75 player
status. It does.
And takes away from Michael Jordan's GOAT status.
But he couldn't get it done.
He couldn't get it done with the Bulls, and he couldn't get it done with Portland.
I want to hear.
We're still in hypothetical mode.
That's not hypothetical. He didn't get it done.
I'm asking hypothetically.
He couldn't get it done. He couldn't get it done with the Bulls, and he couldn't get it done with the Portland Trailblazers.
So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, let's say, when he was gone for those two years, and let's say the Bulls do win, they hypothetically win,
even one.
There's a bit. If Jordan comes back and says, "Okay, yeah, I want to come back," yeah, the management's going to be like, "Well, we don't really need you," but here's the thing. He brings back, "Well, I've already won 3 rings. Yeah, we won 1 with you. I want to win 3 more." That just strengthens. So then after that, it just strengthens. So does it take away from his GOAT status? In a management sense, yes. But as a player and as we as fans, no, it's just going to be like, oh yeah, they won.
It makes you look different at Pippen. It makes you look different at Kukoc. It makes you different at Phil Jackson.
I think Dan is right in the fact that looking different at those players, giving them a little bit more of a chit, takes away from Jordan.
I'm gonna tell you, in the second run, in that second three-peat, the key player was Dennis Rodman.
Yep.
Facts.
Any of them. I don't care.
Facts.
I'm talking about irrelevant to Michael Jordan.
Facts.
So what I'm saying is,
if they go those 2 years and win and say they won both those 2 years,
both of them, it's no question.
They went 8 years straight with a championship.
Both
Let's
say
that happened.
How many Finals MVP did Pippen win?
But that's not
doesn't
my
matter.
point. Is what I'm saying.
It does matter.
Doesn't matter.
But if they had won those 2 years, the chances are Pippen would have been the MVP.
If he's
at least
Michael Jordan's not there.
Yeah,
because Mike was in the
running. He was in the running.
Because Mike is not there.
I'm not saying that Michael isn't still GOAT status at that point.
He is GOAT status. He's the best ever.
Away a little bit of his GOAT status to give to Pippen if Pippen wins 2 MVPs.
Thank you, Josie.
The years he's gone.
Hypothetical.
But
I know that's what we're saying.
Hypothetical.
Clearly.
We're talking hypothetically because it didn't happen.
But here's the hypothetical.
Deal. Here's the deal. When the second three-peat happened, where was Pippen at in that run? It wasn't him. It was Dennis Rodman. And it was Kukoc.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Pippen was just a piece of the puzzle, and that just a small piece of that puzzle in that second title run.
A bigger piece had they won those 2 championships, and he'd won MVP in those 2 championships.
I can't agree with that.
And it basically was said in The Last Dance that Michael tried everything he could to make Pippen look less than.
Yeah.
The man scored 20 points a game twice in the season.
It's because you guys are blinded by your Jesus Jordan fairy tale.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Yes, it is.
And if that's the
case, fucking fairy tale.
Just like you being blinded by
fairy tale. Michael Jordan is a fairy tale.
He's a fairy tale to you guys. To you guys, he's a fairy tale. That's what he is. That's what he's always been.
He revolutionized the league. He revolutionized the game.
No matter what. Even in a hypothetical situation, why he's saying that is Michael Jordan is the GOAT. No matter what, nothing can take that away.
Yes, nothing can ever stop. Nothing can. It wouldn't matter.
There is something that can take that away. There is something that can take that away. LeBron James. He's right there.
I'm about to say that.
He's right there.
What's he have to do?
He has to win more titles.
Oh my fucking God.
Okay, we need to move on.
Yeah, let's go on to hockey. Let's go on to hockey.
Real quick.
Before we get into hockey, I want to take a quick wrestling minute. who heard or watched or saw anything about Forbidden Door last night? It was one of those pay-per-views that should be talked about for a very long time. It was an epic thing that
sounds like a porno.
Forbidden Door, yes.
WWE Forbidden Door.
Shit on Tony Khan for this shit, or for a lot of the things he does, but he pulled it off. Now, I will say Tanahashi should have been the interim champion.
I agree.
Moxley should not have won that.
I agree with you on that. I didn't understand why they did that.
Tanahashi versus Punk.
I don't understand why they did that. I really don't get it.
Because everything that Mox has worked for, getting clean, everything that he's done, finally facing Tanahashi, he needed to go up on Tanahashi.
But also it helped build the story for this Wednesday's Blood and Guts. It made
that makes sense.
The Combat Club look stronger going in.
That makes sense.
They have a new member with Cesaro.
I give him a shout out to bring. I'll give him shout outs for bringing him in. Shout outs to AEW for bringing him in.
The pop last night when they brought
him.
Oh,
do you guys think the guys who write the storyline people for WWE are doing a good job?
Nope.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
Not?
Hell no.
Okay, no. That was my question. I really don't know.
WWE, no. AEW is less written story. It's more done by
AEW is more traditional. It's what it used to be.
From what you hear, there's no writers in AEW. Most of the stars come up with their plans, and then before it goes on TV, they go to Tony and they say, "Hey, this is our idea." Tony will say yay or nay. And
WWE.
So that's how it should be.
WWE has only done one thing right, and that's NXT with Nikita Lyons. Everything else is bullshit.
Oh my God, that woman! Oh,
anything else is bullshit. Seven knows what I'm talking about. Seven knows what. Oh my God,
Nikita Lyons.
That's the only thing they doing right. That's the
This is starting to sound more like a porno.
No.
That part, yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Dan, look up Nikita Lyons. Look it up.
I've seen her before.
Oh my God,
more like a
that
porno.
booty alone.
Yep.
But no, last night, even from the buy-in, all the way from the buy-in to the end of the pay-per-view, everything was great. It was really good. It was well put together.
I think there could have been a couple of more surprises. That was one of my other critiques.
Yeah, but for a summer pay-per-view to compete with the WWE, they need to continue to do this. This is what AEW needs.
You also got to remember, company that only usually does 4 pay-per-views a month. This cut in right into the middle where they wouldn't usually be doing. So they got all in just 2 months in September.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that in Chicago?
Yeah, usually it's been in Chicago, but I don't know if it will be after Forbidden Door just being in Chicago.
Hey, real quick, we got a question in the chat about the NBA draft.
Number 20, Malachi Branham. He went to the San Antonio Spurs.
Let me ask you a question, Gene. You like Chet? You like Chet for the OKC Thunder?
Yep.
I think that was the right pick. They knew they were picking him going in.
They knew they go get him. They knew they were going to get him.
Yeah.
Great pick. Well, the biggest thing about the draft is now they're including G League players.
Yep.
Which it brings a little bit more development to the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they're spreading it out like that. I'm over the whole one and done kid coming in the league and then not panning out.
So stupid.
Right.
It's just the worst thing in the world. So now that we got these more developed and more basketball savvy guys coming in the league, it makes the draft a little bit more interesting. But what it does for the fans doesn't know a lot of these guys. So that's what makes it boring in one aspect. Like, who are these guys?
Right.
Because they didn't play the 1 year.
Well, because of market. You know, G League teams aren't big markets.
I watch the G League.
I watch it too, but you catch a game every now and then. I don't, however you watch it. I don't know if you got cable or Fire Stick or however you do it, but they're hard to get.
I steal it from the internet.
Hey,
illegally.
Crack streams.
And crash streams. And Chet.
Everybody.
And Chet's got time to fill out. He's got time to fill out both.
I was going to say,
he's got time.
It looks like you took a 5'10" white guy and stretched him out. You stretched him into 7'1".
But he has time,
like a Gumby.
He's got time to fill out though, and he's on the right team he's on the right team to do it too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, but he's most of the big guys that went, they're all guard like.
Yep.
They can all
guard mentality.
Mm-hmm. They can play on the wing, and that's so important. And
it is.
Everything is stretched. There's no true centers. There's no more Hakeem Olajuwons. There's no more Patrick Ewing. those centers are done.
Joel Embiid might be the last one.
Well,
he's pulling away now. He's trying to shoot a little 5 or 6.
He does. He's good too.
Almost to a point, Gene. It's coming to a point where in the NBA you got to play every position at some point.
Yeah, because I think offenses are wide open now. I don't think they're so ABC-ish like they used to be.
No.
So you got to have bigs who can stretch. You got to have guards who can defend. So, and they got to be able to defend more than one position. So, yeah, you're right about that.
You still have to have in the NBA, the Celtics are living proof. You still have to have an actual point guard on your team.
Yes.
They need more than just a point.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
But the Celtics are proof of that.
I didn't say that what the Bulls did. We got enough wing players. We needed a big, and we didn't get one. Dalen Terry, come on, man.
No, you're right.
We got enough wing players on that squad, on that roster as it is. Come on, man.
Okay, we don't really know.
Unless you think Lonzo isn't coming back, or is he going to be different?
It's all hypothetical, Daniel.
Right?
We don't really know. It depends on if Kendall Jenner lets him come back.
I'm just saying.
10 years from now, we can talk about Dalen Terry as a GOAT.
Hell no.
We don't know. How do you know that?
But the thing about it, is,
don't pay him no attention. He's still stuck on Michael Jordan, and we think he's
Yeah,
he's going to speak on it more. And I hope you do. I want you to speak on it more. I want you to tell me why you don't think he is the GOAT.
But the thing with Terry,
what we're saying is, if those 2 games were different, he would not have as much GOAT status.
Those two seasons
were back on this.
LeBron would have
never.
But to get back on Terry for a second,
But
to get back on Terry for a second, I never understood that, because unless you think Lonzo's not coming back healthy, I don't get the pick. And you play Greek Freak how many times a year? We needed more bigs, and we didn't get one. I don't understand it. I just don't get it.
It comes from a management point of view, not from the player or the coach. It all comes down to management. It's who looks good on paper. Oh, we need this guy. We need that guy.
Have you guys watched?
He averaged 6 points a game in college.
And well, sometimes
and shot less than 35% from the field from 3.
Well, Mr. Pinfall is right. Sometimes it's just good connections.
That's true.
That's true. Locker room chemistry is a thing that you have to manage.
That's true.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Hustle on Netflix?
Yes.
With Adam Sandler?
Yep.
Okay. That's kind of what it like. That's kind of what he's talking about.
That might be what it is.
Yeah.
I love Adam Sandler. I really do, man. That guy.
I mean, he makes great movies now. He knows what he's doing.
Oh my God.
Sure.
He can make a great movie.
GOAT. Now he is the GOAT.
The ones that he was making at the beginning of his Netflix run were some garbage.
Yeah. I didn't think Hustle was like the greatest movie ever, but I think it was a good look, like actually at what those guys deal with on a regular basis, as far as like the politics of like the whole thing is an actual.
And that also comes from him being a diehard basketball fan.
Yeah.
Diehard.
Hey, before we end the segment, I'm doing yes or no. And literally, you guys have to do yes or no, because we'll get into this forever. Yes or no? Yes or no? If LeBron James has 6 NBA titles, is he the GOAT?
I'm going to tell you what stat adds to that.
No.
If LeBron James has 6 titles like Michael Jordan does with the same stats right now, is LeBron James the GOAT?
No.
Where's
my
LeBron?
God.
I'm muting you, Gene. If you can't say yes or no, you get muted.
I say no. I say no because the way
this.
Jordan.
Where
because the way
is
Jordan did it.
LeBron at in scoring?
I think I broke my headphones.
In the history of the NBA, where is he at? I just want to know, where is he at? Where is he at in scoring?
No, you just.
Where's who at?
Because you gotta. There's a component. Listen, this thing is a body of work.
Statistically, LeBron James is
yes or no. You can't.
Statistically, LeBron James is the greatest player.
How many times has LeBron been to the finals? How many times has where's he at in the all-time scoring list in the NBA? Number two.
He will become number 1. Next year he'll be the all-time leading scorer.
You win 2 more titles, he's the top dog.
He's the GOAT.
Opinion. But
yes. I say no.
You got it.
Will has no backing for that at all.
I do have backing for it.
But no player has went 3, took a break, and came back and won 3 straight.
Why does that matter?
Because do you know how hard it is to win an NBA title?
No, I don't.
Ask Kobe. Ask Shaq. Ask those guys.
Okay, we need to move on.
I want to get to Gene. I want to get to Gene. Gene, go ahead and update us on what's going on with the NHL.
Well. There we go. Mr. Pinfall's going to tell you. Last night it happened. 2-1. and we got the good old Avalanche after over 21 years without having a title. They are now your NHL Stanley Cup champions.
Congratulations.
Another Cold Harbor, Nova Scotia boy brings home the cup.
Who was it?
Nathan McKinnon.
I've heard that name before. That's a good thing, right? I just don't watch the NHL.
He's
Mr. Pinfall, real quick.
It's like the only sport Dan doesn't watch.
Do you think the NHL suffered because you couldn't see the puck for a long time on TV?
I
Seriously.
can always see the puck.
Okay, all right. No,
I can always see the puck.
Dude, here's the thing.
He's Canadian. Of course,
I started to watch hockey when I got like a big 70-inch TV in high def, and I could see the puck. I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" I could never see it.
Birth, man. Come on, man. He was seeing a puck at birth.
Right.
Canadians don't use pacifiers; they use old hockey pucks as their TV.
Absolutely.
That's Gene's first words. The puck.
As a Canadian, do you feel like that you're living above a meth lab?
No.
Yes.
The disrespect, man.
It's true.
It's true.
Disrespect.
It's a meth lab.
Okay.
Gene, personally, you ain't got to take that, brother.
I don't.
I
It's
wanted
not
to
an
ask
insult.
That's
It's
a
just like
Walmart
living above a meth lab in
trailer
America.
parks down
It's a
here.
meth lab.
Mr.
America,
Walmart and trailer
meth lab.
parks down here going crazy, man.
That's right.
I wanted to ask you, Mr. Pinfall, so obviously this is, the first time in a long time that that Sir Stanley's chalice has come this far south. What do you think was the deciding thing for Colorado in taking it and somebody finally dethroning the Lightning?
5 years of blood, sweat, and tears.
For me, I think really with Colorado, it was the build over that time.
The 5 years.
Getting Nathan McKinnon, getting some of the guys that they've got, because a lot of the guys were most on the team were either looked at as not being able to produce in the playoffs, or if they did, they messed up somewhere down the line where it screwed up their team, and that's why they didn't win. So the group of guys they have really came together and pulled it together. And Nathan McKinnon, again, another Cold Harbor boy, he's been doing hockey since he was knee high to a grasshopper. So it's that whole thing, right? When you're doing it from birth, and when you're playing the way you play, plus being in the camps he's been in and being able to be around the talent like a guy like Sidney Crosby is only going to rub off.
Right.
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and rapid fire this thing. Gene, thank you for that. We appreciate you, brother. Let's move on to the huddle real quick. Rob Gronkowski retired a couple weeks ago.
Fourth time.
Where do you have him? Where do you have him on your all-time tight end list?
He'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
he'll be back the end of October.
I believe it.
He's not done yet.
He didn't say that because he didn't want to go through camp.
Right. He wants to go party. He was probably going to like Cancun or something.
No, he's gonna come back at the start of the season. He's done with beating himself up in camps all summer long. He's done with that crap.
What do you think he ranks though?
Under Gonzalez.
2. I was gonna say
number 2.
He's up there. I think he's up there. I don't think he's one of the all-time greats, but he's up there.
He is, as far as all-time tight ends, I've got to put. I put him at number 3, and that is because I am going to put Tony Gonzalez, and it kills me because he was a Bronco for so long, but Shannon Sharp. I've got to put both of them above that. And here's the reason why I don't put Gronk above Sharp. Listen.
What
out
the
of
hell?
Gronk's entire career, he missed over 50 games. He missed 50 games. That's over 3 seasons because of injury. My issue with Gronk and why I put him below Shannon Sharp is he couldn't stay healthy.
But
it helps when you have TB Pro throwing your ball too.
But can you hold a legit injury against a player like that?
Yeah, you can.
Yes,
a legit injury. I can see if he's dogging it, but a legit
best
injury.
ability is availability.
That's true.
And
I don't know though.
And that's in any sport.
With Dan
the best ability is availability.
I don't know though, because you can't take away what Rob did.
I don't think Rob would have been as good had he not had TB12 thrown to him.
And that's also why
we don't. But you know what? We will never know that.
Nope. Joe won't.
We will never know that.
Hypotheticals.
No, you won't know that. You will not know that.
You can still process it and think about it, though.
He leave. Well, here we go. We're talking hypothetics again.
Yes.
He could leave.
That's what this show does.
He could
That's
leave.
our job.
But
hey, none of us ever been there, so like we all know from
we are talking hypothetics.
My 5'8" ass, we got to stand there, middle linebacker.
Hey, Seven.
What?
Hey, Seven. Who else did Gronk play for? I'm just saying, who else did he play for?
That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing. I'm holding it against
No,
him. Yes.
Gronk is Gronk. We're talking about a 6'7" goddamn tight end with hands of like glue.
Well, you got one of the best.
Here's the thing.
I agree, Gene. He could have been better.
The man made people forget being coach.
Skill level, I would take Travis Kelce over
He
Rob
made people forget being coach.
I would take Travis Kelce over Rob Gronkowski any day too.
Then how the hell are you going to argue about that?
Wait a minute. Because of the reason why is because of his availability to get elusive. Gronk wasn't elusive. He was just bigger than most DBs. He was just bigger than most linebackers. He would just jump over top of them. Yeah,
football.
The dude could run with the ball a little bit after the catch, though.
We talking skill set?
Gonzalez is probably by far. When you're ranking GOAT tight ends right now, because we can't give Travis Kelce a ranking yet. He's still playing.
No, he's still playing.
He's done some amazing things. He's 7,000-yard season, something no tight end has done.
If he quit today, if he retired today, he'd be better than Gronk, in my opinion.
Wow.
But the thing of it is, for me, when I look at Gronk, he put up some stellar numbers, but he missed all those games. Tony Gonzalez managed to have a miraculous career despite the dumpster fire of a quarterback list he played with. The best quarterback that Tony Gonzalez played with, statistically, was Matt Ryan.
Yep.
Well, in that
Matt fucking Ryan.
But in that situation, with Gonzalez, he was more of a middle. He was middle between the 30s type of tight end. Gronk is not a middle of the 30s type of tight end. He's a red zone guy. So when it counted, he came through.
But
and
Gronk plays football because it's fun, but he's not a scholar of the game. He doesn't spend a lot of time watching film, studying the playbook. He just goes where Tom Brady tells him to go.
He's a freak athlete is what he is.
He's just a freak athlete. These other guys, like Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp, Travis Kelce, they put in the work.
I think
they care about the game and their position and what they do. And that is why I am not going to put Gronk ahead of Tony Gonzalez or Shannon Sharp, because those guys put the work in and they were available. Tony Gonzalez missed 2 games in his entire career. Shannon Sharp missed 16 out of an 11, 12-year career.
Hey, durability is key. But at the end of the day, it's about winning. It's about winning rings, man. It's about winning championships. And I understand the work ethic that's put in over the season. And that's, it is. It really is.
There are 54 players on an NFL roster.
Gronk's the greatest tight end of all time, then.
He's not the greatest.
He won more rings than any of those guys.
He's won definitely more than Shannon Sharp. But he's putting Shannon Sharp ahead of Gronk.
He won more than Tony G. Tony G didn't win one.
He's putting Shannon Sharp ahead of Gronk.
Mm-hmm.
Because Shannon played more games.
What does that have to do with anything? Robert Horry has 7 damn NBA titles and only played 40 minutes his whole career. What's the big deal? He'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Gene. So remind me again why Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time?
At some point he will be.
Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time.
Because of the rings?
He changed the game, man. The way he
changed
did
the game. He revolutionized the game, man.
You know,
LeBron James didn't revolutionize the game.
Michael Jordan was
LeBron didn't revolutionize no game.
Well, Michael Jordan.
Listen, when you play hopscotch, this is his mark against him. When you play hopscotch to win titles, Kobe Bryant, he stayed in LA. Michael Jordan, he stayed in Chicago. So that shows me adversity. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do.
LeBron's playing to win.
He's playing to win.
Here's the thing.
It's not working.
Tell me you can't. I didn't say it was effective. Listen, don't mix it up. He's playing to win. If Michael Jordan, if the environment in basketball in the 90s was like it is today, where players will just up and leave teams, it is so common. Kind of like the transition with baseball since free agency became a thing.
It's the way things are structured right now.
You cannot tell me that Michael Jordan would have stayed with the Bulls as long as he did if things had changed in the 80s instead of the early to mid 2000s.
He fought a 1-year contract. You know, he could have went anywhere. He said, Chicago's not paying me enough. I think they paid him $32 million for that 1 year, and they offered him like 25. He's like, well, you know, I'm not going to I want to be a Bull, and give me some more money.
Okay, and here's the thing.
He
That's great for him. That's great for him. He chose to do that because that's what he wanted to do.
Exactly.
We cannot hold it against. No. We cannot hold it against these guys because they want to just be in a better environment for them.
But
they
listen,
want to explore.
Everybody,
is a game. You get 15 years time from those guys.
Josie knows the impact that LeBron going to Miami did to Ohio basketball. Okay, professional basketball. He understands that.
Oh, that's where this is coming from. That just made sense to me, Gene. I get it.
I'm not
biased.
No, I'm not biased. But what I'm saying is it took for him to travel and go to these other teams and team up with these players. And that formula is not working right now for him.
Go to college, maybe?
Look at. Well, no, you don't have to go to college.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm saying like that was kind of college for him. He actually said that.
Well, yeah, that was kind of college.
Miami was college for him.
Well, Kobe didn't go to college. You know, Kobe came straight.
Miami was college for him as far as a person goes, as far as his personality, as far as him as a player.
I think when he got with D Wade, I think D Wade was like his big brother, and he kind of sharpened his edges a little bit and said, "Hey, this is the way to do things." But then again, it really didn't, because he came back to Cleveland and he won a title with Kyrie Irving. So what I'm saying is he came back. That title in itself, that 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers title, was probably his best memory of his career, because he actually went back and earned that. He played back. If he could play that way he played all season with these other teams and didn't have that star power with him, then there wouldn't be no question about what he's done. But because he's went to these other teams and he's had star power with him, Hall of Famers, and he went back to Cleveland to play with Kyrie Irving.
So Scottie Pippen and Robert are Hall of Famers.
You can't win in the NBA now unless you have a solid
three
team.
Stars. Three stars.
There is nobody right now. There is nobody. Michael Jordan, in his prime, could not win a championship by himself.
It took him 7 years. And he was
the addition of Pippen and other pieces to get him there.
Absolutely.
Jordan just stayed and got the management to bring him the stuff. LeBron went and explored. There is nothing wrong with that.
But that's how Golden State are winning titles. They built through the draft.
But you guys bash Kevin Durant for doing the same shit.
Absolutely.
I don't bash Kevin Durant at all for doing the same shit. I think the player mobility is awesome.
You know, people say he was a mistake when he left OKC to go to Golden State. To me, it wasn't a mistake.
I mean, I think it's a bad decision because he can win in Golden State. They just won a title again. Like, he could have won more titles in Golden State, but like, that's a bad move on his part. I'm not going to bash him for moving though. Like, it's not. He can do what he wants.
Right.
Like, honestly,
right. It was a bad move for him to leave.
Yes, it was.
But go there. But to go there, no, man.
Whatever. Like, good for him. He wanted to go do it by himself, like Gene is talking about, kind of.
Right.
He wanted to go actually earn one.
Not necessarily saying doing it by yourself. I'm saying
you can move
one. You can move to any team. But the moves that LeBron made were with teams with star power, and it is what it is. And teams have caught on to that, and you see it's not working anymore. You look at Giannis and Middleton and those guys. Those are Middleton's middle of the road. And they won titles.
Heck yeah.
You know, so when you look at LeBron, how he tried to build the Lakers, all those guys were stars at some point. You know what I mean? And it didn't work out. It's not working anymore. Youth is what's working right now. And teams that can get up and down the floor and aren't traditional. These are untraditional wins. Like Golden State win because they just seasoned like that. They've been together for a while. They know how to win. They know how to. Draymond Green took over game number 2 all by himself, just being a fucking knucklehead.
Yep.
He took over the whole game. So what I'm saying is Mike came in an era. I mean, George Gervin was still on this roster when he first got to Chicago. For God's sake. You know what I mean? So that's somebody.
But yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it took him 7 years to win it. It took him 7 years. LeBron went to the playoffs in his first couple of years with playing San Antonio in his 4th year, I think. And he was by himself and he couldn't win because of a well-seasoned, well-put-together San Antonio team.
But no one would have beat that San Antonio team, honestly.
I don't think
so. That's one of the top 3 teams in the history of the league.
No,
I don't think so neither. So it's not about Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan. If you win 3 in a row and you go play golf and then you go play baseball and you come back and win 3 more, that's not Phil Jackson.
In the 90s against those amazing athletes that were in the 90s.
Exactly. Those were great teams.
I was being sarcastic, but yeah.
He really was.
I know you was being sarcastic, but your sarcasm is actually right. Those were better teams. Look at the
better athletes.
Look at the New York Knicks at that time.
I'm not. I have to actually take my headphones off.
Look at the Cleveland Cavaliers. He don't want to hear it. It is okay.
It's not true.
But I'm listening.
I just think a lot of times the 80s and the 90s get kind of like washed to the side when they shouldn't.
Yeah.
I think they really do.
Well, they were one star teams.
Right.
They get washed to the side.
I think a lot of millennials, because they didn't see them play, watch them to the side.
Oh my God.
Because people who played in the 90s, like John Stockton, Jeff Hornacek, you want to call them plumbers. Am I right?
No.
Am I right?
No. What he's saying
John Stockton, one of the greatest point guards ever, gets called.
Absolutely. No, we're not saying that John Stockton is a plumber, but you have to look at the talent level in the NBA now versus what it was 20 years ago.
Everything evolves. Everything evolves.
Not a player that was in the NBA 20 years ago in their prime that could beat an NBA player in their prime today.
These players, listen, the players of today, these guys laugh at these vets, these retired, they laugh at these guys in the league right now. They laugh
because they think that their time was better. Like everybody who's 60 years old thinks that their time was better because of. No, seriously.
They do the same thing in wrestling.
Absolutely not.
Everything evolves, and I get that. But I'm just saying.
But see, wrestling doesn't change because it's scripted. So you can make it, and you push it, and you push it.
That's not true.
So you can make it what you want. You can make it what you want, Josie.
KW has spoken.
That's not what I'm saying. Thank you, KW. You got people like Taker that shit on locker rooms today because they don't bring guns and drugs, and there's not fights and people getting stabbed in the back because they bring video games and they're civil to each other, and they can all be and know that they have a job to do.
Well, they're making more money.
Those guns and drugs sound like a lot of fun.
They are making more money now than
they're making way more money.
They didn't have to deal drugs.
I'm not saying things
they don't have to deal drugs.
I'm not saying things don't evolve and change, but damn, I mean, it's like
they all died of them.
Guys, I get what you're saying
because the business has changed. But when Taker was one of the highest paid people of his time.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
So in equivalent, Taker was making about the same as what the guys today are making. So it's not about the money. It's about how the atmosphere in locker rooms has changed.
Well,
and that's the same thing with basketball. It has changed. It has evolved. It is a different sport.
Well, I didn't say things don't change. I didn't say things don't evolve. I'm just saying don't disrespect. I'm just saying
at the end of the day, the WWF, before it was the WWE, there was obviously, we said, hella steroids. Hulk Hogan was being accused. McMahon was a big push. I mean, you know, he wanted guys bulked up, big, and looking good for the camera. Baby oil guys. But
baby oil guys.
At the end of the day, drugs have evolved also. Okay, let's not forget that drugs have evolved.
Everything evolves. Just don't forget what the game.
Everything evolves.
Yeah, just don't forget where the game came from. That's all I'm saying.
These dudes are studs. These dudes are coming back from injuries like faster than dude. Come on.
A knee injury back then is healed and recovered from in half the time now.
Absolutely.
So it's modern medicine.
Medical technology got better.
Right. Yeah.
It evolved. Everything evolved.
It did. It did. So that changes the scope of how athletes are going out night in and night out. Because I think what is it? They're out there even on the chitlin circuit. We're talking about doing the small promotion, the small shows. We're talking about 300 nights a week. I mean, a year.
And I'm not on what promotion you're with and what you're doing, but yeah.
And I'm not blaming any of the new school guys for doing that. Like for being on the floor more and having this medical advancement. I'm not blaming them for that. What I'm also asking is, or I'm not blaming them for not having that. Sorry, in like the 80s and 90s.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, don't blame them now because they do have it. Is what I'm saying. We gotta see it both sides.
But that's what we're talking about. Evolution. It's all about evolution.
Everything changes. Everything gets better. Yeah.
It comes down to you have to judge an athlete against the competition that he played against at his time. There's no doubt. Like at the time, who did he play against? Yes, I will give you
Jordan played, and when Jordan played, that's the competition he had.
Yes,
and it wasn't bad competition.
Coming up.
That wasn't bad competition, man. Detroit Pistons, the New York Knicks.
I'm not saying it was bad competition.
To get out the East, come on.
That Miami Heat team in 2012 would roll the fucking Detroit Pistons that Michael Jordan lost to. They would roll them by 30 fucking points every. Oh my god, dude! Are you kidding me?
Bullshit.
I'm calling
it. I'm talking about Bill Laimbeer beating
40
guys half to death.
Who's Bill Laimbeer guarding on that Miami Heat team? Who's he guarding?
He's guarding a 5.
Udonis Haslem?
He's guarding a 5.
You better keep him on Haslam the whole fucking time or it's fucked.
Man, listen, Udonis Haslem would have nothing going on with Bill Laimbeer. Trust me.
Who's Jeff Hornacek guarding on that 2012 team?
Well, he's going to guard D Wade or off guard.
Okay, so you can say that with a straight face and still think that Pistons team is going to beat that Heat team? Are you serious?
That team.
How can you say that with a straight face?
Listen, when Jordan did his documentary,
you mean that propaganda?
The propaganda piece?
No,
that's ESPN propaganda piece.
He said, listen, it came out of his mouth. It came out of his mouth. And he said the team that gave him the most problems was the Detroit Pistons.
I get it because they were less talented at that time. I get it. But like,
what do you mean less talented? They won titles.
Against their own competition, yes. But what I'm saying is like in the evolution thing, that 2012 Miami Heat team would fucking dominate those 80s Pistons teams. Fucking dominate them. Who's D'ing up LeBron James? Give me one defender who's D'ing up LeBron James.
It's only one person that could D up LeBron James, and his name is Luol Deng, and he's out the league.
Actually, you know what?
Thank you.
I actually like Luol Deng. And I actually kind of agree with that. But the thing is, like, yes, but Luol Deng was playing like 2009, dude. He's like, that's recent. I'm talking about the 80s.
He lied about his age. He lied about his age. He was older than what he was.
And he just got done finally being paid off that Lakers deal.
Yes. Luol Deng used to D the shit up out of LeBron. Believe that.
He did.
And Kawhi Leonard. And then Kawhi Leonard.
Those are guys who still play. Like LeBron, Kawhi still plays. I'm talking about the 80s.
We're talking about those 80s Pistons.
The 80s Pistons team.
I know one
Bill
thing.
Laimbeer going to D him up?
I know one thing we ain't going to disrespect. Isaiah Thomas beat Jordan, Magic, and Larry Bird in his time.
Woo!
Only thing that took him out was a wrist injury. That's the only thing that took Isaiah Thomas out.
Thank you.
Come on,
Thank
y'all.
you, Will. Thank you,
come
Will.
On, y'all.
Isaiah,
on that note,
little 5'8" Isaiah Thomas.
Thank you, Will.
You're welcome, sir. I ain't gonna let y'all disrespect the
new
second
Isaiah
best
Thomas.
point guard no.
With the A in it.
I'm not gonna let you disrespect the second best point guard in the league. Damn, KW, really? Really? Really?
Insanity.
I was thinking that's
really? We ain't seen no hair of Jeremy Lin in forever. Where's the next Jeremy Lin?
Two-time champion. 2 times.
So my dick of the week is definitely William Morgan. That's for sure. And he achieved that in less than an hour. That's the thing. He just did it, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Over the whole week, the countdown came to the last hour.
You know why I won that award for the?
Was Dean a very close runner-up?
For answering the hypothetical question, if LeBron James has 6 rings right now, he's not better than Michael Jordan as a no. That is actually the most egregious thing that I have heard in a long time. It's honestly the most egregious thing I've heard in a long time.
KW,
because statistically, there's no comparison at this point. So it's only the titles. That's the only thing that you have for Michael Jordan is the 6 for 6.
No, you never heard.
What else do you have?
You never heard why I said that. You never heard why I said that. When I saw Michael Jordan play in Boston go on to score 63, that was it. You knew he was going to be a problem at that point. It wasn't the fact that he won 6 titles that makes him the GOAT in my eyes. It's the way he did it. That is what makes him the GOAT in my eyes. Has nothing to do with titles, has nothing to do with rings, whatever you want to say it. When you saw Michael Jordan play on the court, you know that was an alpha. You knew it was an alpha. You knew it. He was going to take over and do whatever he had to take to win.
So mentality definitely has something to do with it, is what you're saying. Like the mentality. I'll agree with you right now that LeBron James does not have killer mentality like Kobe and like Michael Jordan. I've conceded that fact. I know that as a fact. He doesn't. He's not the alpha mentality. He's not the killer mentality. It's not in him.
And that's the thing for me.
That's the thing for me. That's LeBron James passes the eye test.
Come on, man.
Pretty fucking.
They were very good teams. They were very good teams. When you got a star-studded team like LeBron had down in Miami, I mean, it's hard to beat that. I mean, come on.
There's a player on that team that
I would go all day with you and say that those Bulls teams were more star-studded than that Miami Heat team.
There's a player on that Miami.
One more star.
There's a player on those Miami Heat teams no one gives credit for, and he could be in the Hall of Fame very soon. Chris Bosh gets no credit for what he does. No credit.
That's the 3. Outside of that roster was garbage. Outside of those 3 guys, that roster was garbage.
Ray Allen garbage? Ray Allen garbage?
Okay, old Ray Allen. I get it. Yes, Ray Allen could hit 3 still. Old Ray Allen could hit some fucking.
Man,
he was like 36 the whole time.
Right there.
Here's the scenario.
He wasn't the same Ray Allen.
He wasn't same Ray Allen. He wasn't Milwaukee Bucks Ray Allen.
That's tough right
there. It was because they had Mike Miller. Mike Miller was the shooter. Ray Allen came along. Listen. LeBron doesn't win title, I think 3. If he doesn't win title 3, if Bosh doesn't kick out this rebound and he gets it to Ray Allen in the corner, LeBron owes him a house. Chris Bosh took a back seat down the stretch of that season, and he said, "You know what? I'm not looking to score. I'm just filling in where I can."
And Michael Jordan owes Steve Kerr a lot of houses.
Steve Kerr.
If we're gonna do that, then Michael Jordan owes Steve Kerr and Tony Kukoc a lot of houses.
Yeah, you better say Tony Kukoc because Steve Kerr was cool, but Tony Kukoc was crucial.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Kukoc was crucial.
Mm-hmm. And those entire title that Jordan has because of Steve Kerr. So Steve Kerr gets a house too.
Gets a house.
Forget that.
If that's what we're doing.
He gets a condo.
For one shot, then Rob Dorey's owed a lot of houses.
He gets a condo.
And on that note,
Steve Kerr is winning titles in Golden State because of one guy, and that guy's a commentator at every game he plays in, and we all know
Mark
who that
Jackson.
Is. Mark Jackson. Come on, this guy didn't do anything. Let's just be honest.
Hypothetically, not though, because Steve Kerr still won those titles.
On the record, on the books, but we all know. We all know what Mark Jackson did.
Maybe we all know that Scottie Pippen was way better than we thought he was.
Yes.
I think what we know about Scottie Pippen is the fact that he didn't make a lot of money doing a tremendous job. I think that's what we found out.
He was underpaid.
He's bitter about it.
He was underpaid. He really was.
He was, yeah, absolutely.
He really was.
Yeah, absolutely.
For everything that Scottie did on the court, he was tremendously underpaid.
I just want Scottie to know that. I want to get Scottie on the show and tell him that to his face. I'd be like, hey, we all agree that you were underpaid, bro. Like, he seems like he's very bitter about it.
And the cornrows. I wanted to take the cornrows out.
Yes.
Somebody
that was a rough time.
Take somebody who did everything that Scotty did. Scotty was one of the best all-around players who ever played the game. Offensively, defense, one of the best all around.
Before Scotty, now he didn't get everything he was owed, but his Rockets deal after the Bulls was made to give him some of that money back.
And what did they do?
And what kind of did.
Absolutely nothing.
He still feels bitter.
Nothing. They were all old dudes.
Well, he still feels bitter about it, and he does. And I wish we could just tell him, be like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
like
Scotty, we know that you were underpaid, bro."
Because after that year, didn't Hakeem go play for Toronto after that?
Hakeem was gone already when Pippen came.
Okay.
Yeah, Hakeem was gone.
At the time Pippen came in, he was playing with guys like Yao,
Mario Ellie.
I remember Mario.
But Hakeem is a top 5 player.
Who said he wasn't?
Top 5 of all time?
Hell yeah.
No, he's not.
Oh, shit.
Who are you kicking out? Magic, LeBron, Michael. Okay. Kobe. Who are you kicking out?
Kobe.
You're kicking out Kobe?
What?
That's a whole other thing. I can't even get into that right now.
We need to start drug testing Pinfall host. That's it. Sorry, Dan, you're gonna have to lose this one too. But we got to start drug testing Pinfall.
That's part of the deal.
Kobe's fallen. I mean, may he rest in peace, and I hate that his death was so tragic. But Kobe has fallen pretty much in the bottom half of the top 10.
Oh, we're not getting into this.
We're not getting into this. You're not going to conjure me into this, Gene.
Go into After Dark.
I changed my dick of the week.
That's going to be kind of tough.
How many big men?
I changed my dick of the week.
How many big men as big as Hakeem Olajuwon can handle the ball and take guys off the dribble like he did?
I agree
This guy was super.
But I don't agree that Kobe is the one to go.
And then when you take and then
who are you going to take?
Here's the thing. Hakeem is in the top 10, but Hakeem Olajuwon is not in the top 5.
He's in the top 10. He's in the top 10 for sure. I'll put him in that 6 to 10 range for sure. I'll deal with that.
All right.
Top 5. Who are you kicking out?
I told you.
Can't kick Kobe, Magic, Kareem.
Yes, KW.
I like what KW said.
He did a week for his damn argument.
Okay, come on. I want to have the chance to smoke and talk to my wife before after dark.
Let's keep it moving.
All right, who's next?
That's it.
No, Dick of the Week. We've still got 4 people who haven't done Dick of the Week.
It's Will.
That's me. For the first time ever, it's me.
The rest of us, don't we all get to do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys all get to pick one. That's part of the segment.
Hey,
how am I the only one paying attention here? What the fuck?
I'm paying attention.
On the show in weeks,
I just go first, so I don't have anything to do anymore.
My dick of the week. My dick of the week is fantasy football for starting real drafts so damn late.
Tony La Russa's the all-time leader in Dick of the Week, by the way.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, he is. Hell yeah, he is. Right behind
Stephen A. Smith.
And then
that
Rob
means
Manfred,
the goat of Dick of the Week.
And then Rob Manfred's right behind him.
Manfred might be up there too, yeah.
Manfred.
And then it's Gene. Gene coming in
Gene
third,
got like
a close third. Actually, I think it's me. I think it's actually me myself. It's actually Dick is Dick. Is the third.
You and Gene are tied. Yeah, I think you and Gene are tied.
We are tied up.
Oh my goodness. Real quick.
I took the high road, Gene, and didn't name you Dick of the Week, even though I wanted to.
But my Dick of the Week, very quickly, is actually Stephen A. Smith. And the reason why is because he made a comment on JJ Redick's podcast a week and a half ago.
Stephen A's up there too.
Made it sound Stephen A. Made it sound like
Stephen A. Rob Manfred and Tony Lewis.
Stephen A. made it sound like Skip Bayless came to him and said, "We need you to make First Take what it was." No. Shut the fuck up, Stephen A. You wouldn't be where you're at without Skip Bayless throwing you a goddamn bone.
Yep.
And pulling you in. Stephen A. Smith is the godfather of the morning sports debate format. And Stephen A. on his podcast, I sent Dan this video. He breaks it down. It is undeniable. The debate format that we see in morning sports talk would not exist without Skip fucking Bayless.
No matter what you think about his views, he still
he
can go fuck himself.
I can't stand him.
But you still listen to what he says.
Hey, Dan, Tim Tebow, baby. Tim
Tebow, baby.
Tim Tebow, baby.
Tim Tebow and bashing LeBron. I'm surprised you and Gene are his biggest fan.
He has made a living of those two. He's made his career off those two.
Yep. It's great.
Yeah, but
he's smart. He knows the format.
Yep.
Yeah, but who do you see more?
Out of who?
Stephen A. and
I see a lot of Skip. I watch Fox. I watch Fox Sports.
I see a lot of Skip too.
Yeah, well, he's on Fox, but he doesn't.
Here's one of the things you have to remember.
Skip doesn't need to anymore.
I know.
He's got his show with Shannon, and Undisputed is clipped more than any other.
Undisputed is a great show.
And here's the thing to remember.
It is a great show.
ESPN moved First Take from ESPN2 to ESPN, the primary channel, when Skip left, so that they wouldn't lose the show, because when Skip was on it, they were beating SportsCenter ratings.
Yep.
But with Skip leaving, it didn't have a chance on ESPN2. That's why First Take got moved to ESPN. And it's exactly what it is.
Skip just needs a coked out black guy. That's what he needs, and that's what it is. And
well, Stephen A. is not a coked out black guy.
No, but he needs
just a loudmouth.
Really?
Listen.
He's just a loudmouth that hates international players.
I love both of those guys, by the way, and I love Coke.
I think it was hand in hand.
I'll be back for After Dark. I gotta go.
All right, man.
Okay. All right, Josie. See you, buddy.
Laters. All right, you guys. Let's go ahead and finish. Let's go ahead and finish this thing up. Gene, who's your dick of the week?
My dick of the week is obviously Daniel.
Yes. I'm just taking. I think I just passed. I tied with Tony La Russa, and then I went back up.
Well, I think he does. I honestly think he does this shit on purpose, just to get my fucking goat. I think he does.
I believe it.
I don't know if me and Daniel are going to agree on a whole lot. I think but I think that makes a perfect show.
It does.
I think it does. And
I think it makes best friends, Gene, is what it makes.
Yes.
I think so too. And
yes.
If you was right here in my presence, I would give you a hug. And,
yes, absolutely. We would we would be best friends.
And we'd go drink a beer.
Yes.
You know. But I think for the show, I think having you as a dick is just great.
It is. It's in my name. It's convenient.
And then for your reward, Dan, he's gonna send you 2 gigantic bags of dicks in the mail. So
bags of dicks. Just actual bags of severed
bags
dicks.
of dicks. Bags of dicks. Get ready for that.
I'll send you some gummy dicks.
There you go.
Dicks.
Yes.
Like, Gene, where'd you get this?
Where'd you get some Amish porn? He's also going to send you some Amish porn.
Yes, some Amish porn. Yes.
Girlfriends.
He's my best friend. Thank you, best friend.
It's on a reel to reel. The Amish porn's on a reel to reel.
Thank you, best friend.
Yep.
You just made my day. You just made my day with that.
And I just want to say real quick before
we're gonna hang out, Gene.
And I just want to say real quick,
I'm coming to Nebraska. I'm gonna be the 1.9 million.
I got a guest room ready for you.
There you go. I just want to say real quick thank you to all you gentlemen out being here tonight. I do appreciate you guys. Thank you for everybody in the chat. KW, appreciate you coming through, man. And if nothing else, stay with us. We got Sports Report After Dark coming soon.
With Daniel
15 minutes.
With Daniel 15 minutes. We got with Daniel.
The best in the business, right there.
With Dan and 7. So definitely check out Sports Report After Dark. Don't forget to check out the winter meetings every Sunday at 9 p.m. Don't forget to check my man 7 out for that. And if there's nothing else, you guys, thank you everybody for being here. We do appreciate it. We'll see you again next week right here on the Sports Report podcast on Pinfall Streams. Everybody have a great week and take care.